IKEA box
Yes.
of furniture.
Okay. Let's get busy with our first guest of the day. We've got Happy here. Happy, welcome to the show.
He has infected me with happiness.
It's a pleasure to be here.
It's really great to have you here.
Hello,
and
Happy.
in fact, it's your birthday, right? Here we go.
Happy birthday to you. 77. Happy birthday to you.
You're happy. There you go.
Yay,
Happy birthday.
Happy.
And it's your birthday, just like it's Sandra's dad's birthday.
I know. I want to say happy birthday, Peter.
Thank you. And he's sharing that cupcake in spirit with you.
Oh, wonderful.
He can't eat it. He gained too much weight.
Okay,
but
you're
he's
going to
sharing
make a
in
wish,
spirit.
Happy?
Yay.
I wish. I know my wish already.
Don't tell us.
I
Yay.
won't. Thank you.
I love the pink color icing.
Yeah. And it's good. I had some.
It
Just
reminds
because I
me
got
of,
it on my finger, what am I going to do? I had to lick it off. Happy.
It's
Yeah,
better
he-
than
and
the
he-
baby.
Now, Happy, so anyway, happy birthday. Great to have you on the show, and welcome. And you got a book here called Pardoned. There it is. And we don't know anything about you. In fact, as I mentioned to you earlier today, Happy, I thought I didn't know you were a male until you came in the studio today. So
Isn't that interesting?
we need to know your story.
That's why I changed my name from Happiness to Happy.
Well, because happiness is the male version of happy.
That's the male version.
Ah, okay. So this is the androgynous version.
Do you know what, Sandra? Could you do me a favor and read a book review?
Oh,
Well,
okay.
first I want to say that I wrote 8 books, and this is my 8th book.
8th book?
Yeah.
This is your 8th?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. That's a
And-
lot of books.
I started at 65 years old. I wrote my first book. It was called 2,000 Adventures. I wrote it in April 4th, 2000. And it went on to be a Canadian bestseller.
Good for you.
And I'm
Now,
dyslexic.
you're
and colorblind.
dyslexic. Wow.
Two or
Isn't that a
three.
miracle?
Real bad.
So you wrote 8 books in 12 years?
Yep.
Wow, that's really prolific.
Look at what happened.
You wore out a thumb?
Oh, boy.
I used to suck my thumb on a little boy and fell off.
You know,
Wow.
they have a device now that'll actually cure that.
So how are we going to get started? Sandra knows a little bit.
Tell us. I don't know anything. In fact, I don't know anything.
Sandra, would you read this little book review?
I will read the book review. Okay, so it says, I've had the pleasure of working with Happy on past book projects and am continue to be blown away by his stories of pain and misadventures. His most recent book, Pardoned, is a continuation of his past works with new experiences and revelations. It's an eye-opening account of his life, his troubles, and how, with the help of his faith, he was able to overcome his demons. This book is heart-wrenching and at the same time heartwarming. It will bring tears of pain and, I assure you, tears of joy. I hope you enjoy this book as much as I and the many, many people who I know that read it have. That's a wonderful endorsement.
That's
Wow.
the best book review I have.
Wow.
Now, Happy, I'm going to just ask you because the book is called Pardoned, which suggests a lot of stuff. And it says here, at age 27, old things pass away, and all things would become new. And is this a picture of you? On the
That's
cover?
me at age 27.
At age 27.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so is this? I suspect this is somehow rooted in your own life. And can you tell us?
That's when I got pardoned. But let's see, how can I start? This is a fantastic story. I'm glad I got the 2 hours. I'm just kidding. I'm glad I have quite a time. I want to tell you, pardon is not only being released from Stony Mountain, from a maximum security federal penitentiary. It's pardon of many, many things. Of an alcoholic father who used to smash me in the face as a little child, tell me I murdered his wife. My mother died 2 hours after I was born.
So it's a lot of tragedy.
Oh,
So is this book a motivator, a positive uplifter?
it's an autobiography written by me.
Okay.
A 77-year-old dyslexic man. I started writing at age 65, and I had an editor that understood dyslexic men. So she made that book into a wonderful, wonderful bestseller.
Wow. So she helped you make that
Yeah.
book into it. Wow. That's
But the last 3 books I wrote myself, unedited.
wow.
This one's
So-
unedited.
No, it's unedited. I designed the cover, and the front and back.
So,
And
okay.
So are you? Go ahead. Sorry. Go
well,
ahead.
I just want to. So did you go to a maximum security facility?
well,
when you were
I'm gonna lead up
27?
to that.
Okay.
Here's where I would like to start. First, I'd like to start when I was 17 years old. When I was 17, I had a horrific car accident. I was unconscious 9 days, all my body broken, and I laid on a fracture board for several months. No hope for me to live at all. But then, when I was 19, on April 4th, 1954, I was 19 years old. You know how I celebrated my birthday? In a nut house, in a mental institution for the insane.
How old were you?
19 years old.
And which facility? Whereabouts?
It was the St. Thomas Mental Hospital just outside London.
Okay.
I went to my doctor and I told him I didn't want to live anymore. I hated living, hated myself. And the doctor said, why do you want to die? And I said, my mother died 2 hours after I was born. I was born 2 months premature. I weighed 2 pounds. But my father used to smash me in the face as a little child and tell me I murdered his wife. So I thought I murdered my mother till I was 27.
Right.
Wow.
So that's why I wound up in a mental hospital.
So you held that for 19 years.
I held that for more till I was 55.
Okay.
I released part of it when I was 27, but I went to a drug addiction for drug addicts at age 55 and grieved for the first time in my life.
Wow.
Wow.
Hey, this is a liquid lunch here today,
Right.
and I get a candle and a cupcake, but no liquid lunch, just my bottle of water.
That's liquid.
I have 50 years clean and sober
Good for you.
out of the last 54.
That's why we didn't bring you the
Yeah.
hard stuff.
But how are we going to start? There's
Well, I-
so
Well,
What's-
we've already started happy.
Yeah, we've all and you know what was the turning point for you? Like you're obviously not. You've
I know
obviously
how to
come
go
through
back.
that.
I know how to go back better than that. See, here's what happened. I was mentally ill. I failed grade 1. I failed grade 6. I quit school at 14 years old. And since 14 years old, I've traveled over 1 million kilometers in my lifetime. I just ran and ran and ran and ran and ran. And then
What were you running from?
from my past.
Okay.
So happy. I mean, I'm just sitting here meeting you for the first time today, and I could see the twinkle in your eye and the kind of smile on your face, and I'm curious. You talk about, the book is called Pardoned, when you were 27, and you just mentioned you released a lot of this when you were 27, and you released more when you're 55. What happened when you were 27 that caused you to be able to really start to live for the first time, maybe?
Okay, I'm glad you asked that. You see that book, Pardon?
Yeah.
I told a guy today's my birthday at the YMCA where I go, and he said, I said, when I was 76, I could say 76 trombones led a big parade. But I said, no, I'm 77 today. I don't know what to say. What rhymes with 77?
Heaven.
That's what he told me. He says, 77, you're on your way to heaven.
There you go.
I'm gonna tell you this is my story, and I can share it from my heart. When I got out of Stony Mountain Penitentiary,
Where's that? Snowy Mountain.
30 miles from Winnipeg,
Okay.
when I got out of prison, but first of all, in prison, I wrote my first book, and I gave it to the warden. All he did was take out my webpage and my email address. He left everything in there, and it's a shocker too. But anyway, at age 27, I was walking down the street, minding my own business like any drug addict and alcoholic would do. And this young girl, 17 years old, she runs across the street and she says to me, she's bouncing and saying, how would you like to go to Youth for Christ tonight? And I said, get lost, kid. No, I said that under my breath. But I said, I'm not a teenager. I can't go there. Well, she said, well, you look like a teenager. There's a teenager. So anyway, I went to Youth for Christ. And for the first time in my life, and when I was in prison, I used to have in my card my name of Bad Bobby. That's what I was when I was a child growing up. And it said, sentenced 2 years in religion, atheist. Actually, a pagan or an atheist, whatever you want. I was so proud of that. All the convicts just loved that. But this girl here, on December 8th, 1962, she said, how'd you like to go to Youth for Christ? I went there and I heard gospel music for the first time in my life. I never heard gospel music before. And you know what? That night, I made a decision that has affected my life for the last 49 years.
Wow.
I asked Jesus Christ in my heart, become a Christian, born again Christian. And I didn't know one thing about God's word. Never heard of sacred music before. Never heard a verse of scripture. But the last 49 years, that's the way I live.
Okay, happy, happy.
Wow.
Now, where was that? Winnipeg?
Yeah.
Where the girl came?
No,
out?
when I got out of prison, I moved to Hamilton.
Okay,
I
so this
started
is in
life all
Hamilton.
over, yeah.
Okay, so just trying to get the picture. And what year was that?
December 8th, 1962.
62. Okay. So let me ask you, what was it? I mean, we hear about people getting converted or having
Born
that
again.
born again experience. And there's a lot of people that are Christians and go to church every Sunday, and they might not quite know what that means. I mean, what happened exactly? Tell us the story of that moment and how it changed, how it changed the way that you operated in the world.
I'm glad you said that, Hugh. When I became a Christian, lots of people say they're Christians. They say they believe in God and that's all. But I believe farther than that. I believe that God sent his son into the world, that his son was born of a virgin, that he died on the cross, that he was buried and he rose again. And that's the fundamentals of being a born-again Christian.
Do you believe we're in end times?
Pardon?
Happy? Do you believe we're in end times?
Believe in the
In
time.
end times.
Yeah,
I
because
believe-
I saw a video. Apparently, no, it might sound like I'm joking, but somebody who was a very serious Christian, who did a lot of scholarly research, using the Bible as his principal source,
Yes.
has determined that that Christ is returning
Yeah.
March 22nd of next year.
2013?
December the 8th this year.
Is it? Have you heard that?
No, it's this year.
Is it?
December 8th.
What?
Oh, in December.
That's the 21st. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you talking
but
about
anyways,
21st?
is Jesus coming back?
He's coming back. You know what? I've been a Christian 49 years. In my heart, I've been waiting every single day. Maybe today. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
I have a friend too who is a devout Christian, and there's no doubt in her mind that we are in end times.
But what does that mean? End times. She's talking about the end times, the
Yes.
apocalypse.
Yeah.
You know, the horrible pictures painted in the Revelation. What do you have to say about that, Happy?
You know what? I believe that Christians will escape the rapture. We'll be raptured and then we'll escape all that. I don't know. It could be wrong, but I hope I'm right.
Yeah. Interesting.
So you believe in the second coming?
For 49 years. I just become a Christian 49 years ago, and I heard that Jesus is coming again. Wow, what hope I had.
Now, Happy, okay. Some people say, I think you said it to me last week, Sandra, or somebody did anyway,
Blame me.
that's when they talk about the second coming of Christ, it's what it really is that it's the arrival of a Christ consciousness in every individual person. In other words, that we as humans, we become, as Jesus said, you know, we can do those things too.
And more.
Right? He said that, cast the mountain into the sea. But so that this is the coming of the Christ consciousness in our own beings.
So it's about understanding the Jesus from within, our own.
Yeah.
So it's waking up to our own Christ consciousness.
Yeah,
Do you follow? Do you
Here's what
resonate with
happened
that?
to me. I just believe in faith. The acronym of faith is forsaking all, I take him. I just believe in faith that Jesus is coming, and he's been, and these are the end times right now that we're living in.
They are.
So I believe any time now.
But you know what, Hugh? To your point, okay. Happy, you said that for 49 years now you've been a Christian, and you've been happy pretty much those 49 years. So I really think you have found Jesus from within yourself. So maybe your second coming has already happened,
Well,
and you have discovered the Jesus within you. I mean, how much happier can you get? Will seeing Jesus make you that much happier? Really?
Happy seems pretty happy.
Yeah.
It made me think of. I'm glad you said that because I had a second coming. I had two wives. They held me for a hostage.
It's not exactly what I had in mind.
I know that.
Is that in the book, Happy?
Yeah, it's in the book.
Okay.
Both of my demises.
All right.
What-
Now,
What a journey.
I want to just get back to the book. So the pardoned. It's your story. There's heartbreak. It's going to make people cry,
Cry.
laugh. But who is going to benefit? Like, are people going to? What are they going to really get out of reading this book?
I'm glad you said that, Hugh. This book is written for depressed, lonely, suicidal, mentally ill. I've been all those things and I've done them. I've given thousands of books away at my own cost to
help,
I get
as
emails
therapy.
from all over the world. I got an email from Cape Town, South Africa just recently, and the girl's named Sharon. I can say that because it don't matter. And she said, I started reading your book and my little 4-year-old son was crying, so I put him to bed. I went back, read the book. I finished the book. I rushed and my son woke up. I rushed in his bedroom, picked him up, danced all over the floor with him, and told him how much I loved him.
Wow.
Wow.
It's
You see,
powerful.
now that is something Jesus would do. So maybe you already have had your second coming. Maybe it's within you.
The
Maybe
only
you don't need to
second
wait for
coming-
anything.
The only second coming that I believe in my heart is that Jesus will come, and that's the second coming.
So an actual physical person. Okay.
So, but
Well, you're a
That's
shining example until that happens.
I am. That's why I wrote the book, to help people like me. And I also wrote that I'm a dyslexic person, and I wrote these last 3 books of my own to show
Wow.
dyslexic people can go far, far beyond their realm.
It's all in your mind, right? You can overcome it if you really put your mind to it, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
Happy.
And you know what? I gotta say something about Sandra. I'm so glad that she came today. I watched her lots of times on the internet, and I feel so relaxed.
Isn't
Oh,
she great?
It worked out beautiful.
Thank you, and thank you for being here. What a wonderful, wonderful example you are.
And it's just kind of funny because it is Easter week, and we were talking about Jesus before. I didn't even know that this was the topic of your book, Happy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to leave people with before we
Yeah.
move along?
If you think you can't do it, you can do it.
If you think you can't do it, read the book, because this is proof that you can, right?
Mm.
It's all about the attitude.
Now, Happy, where can people get their hands on the book if they want a copy?
Well, this is just an advanced copy.
Oh.
You brought out a good question, Hugh. Why I wrote this book, I've self-published my own book for the last 11 years. I'd like to have this book taken over by a royalty publisher and let them sell it. I'm 77 years old. I don't want to.
Have to be.
So-
Don't you make
books
more
anymore.
money this way?
I don't want to.
You don't
I
have
didn't.
to
I
split
didn't
it.
make a cent. I made some money, but I give it all to my children.
But you know what? Your very first book was a bestseller in Canada, you said, right?
A Canadian bestseller.
That means it's 100 copies.
No.
Right, Happy?
3,000.
Oh.
3,000. Let's see. 3,280 copies.
Okay. See,
Oh,
I'm
okay,
just
it has
saying.
to be
I'm just
specific.
saying because it's a Canadian bestseller.
Yeah.
You know what that means, right? But no, that's awesome, Happy. Now, but is there a website or something where people can
Yeah.
order this?
It's www.happyhappy.ca.
Wow, I didn't even know that website
Wow.
would be available. That's
You're lucky.
amazing. Yeah.
All right, Happy.
You need to get a license plate that says Happy Happy.
I got a license plate, but I had a happiness.
See, you can't have it too long.
I know.
License plate, you know.
That's true. It's true. Just one
All right,
happy.
Happy. Great to have you on the show. Nice to meet you. All the best.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
And,
Happy birthday.
and
77. Look it up. It's a magic
we
number.
we are gonna take a little
Master
break,
number.
and we're gonna come back with Joe the
Thank you, my
Investor
dear.
and carry on here. And
And I'm known as the Happy Hugger.
let's watch the
Thank you, dear.
God
Where's my
Gene
finger?
just for fun. We'll watch that, and we'll come right back.
Why won't you come? you know we hate you. Don't need to hold you down to rape you. Just take you, date you, young, manipulate you, impregnate you, and procreate you. You wanna rush, but I'm begging you to wait, boo. Just hesitate, cause I'm trying to educate you. Open your eyes, now I'm trying to elevate you. My kid.